The year is 1881. A dusty town in Arizona Territory called Tombstone becomes a powder keg of silver, saloons, and simmering tensions. The discovery of silver in the area brought a rush of prospectors, gamblers, and outlaws all seeking their fortune in this burgeoning town. This is the setting for the 1993 film Tombstone, a thrilling, gritty depiction of the legendary gunfight at the OK Corral. The film captures the tension and drama of this infamous event, which has become a symbol of the lawlessness and violence of the Wild West. The movie, starring Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer, captivated audiences with its action and drama. Russell's portrayal of Wyatt Earp and Kilmer's unforgettable performance as Doc Holliday brought these historical figures to life in a way that resonated with viewers. But Tombstone is more than just a shoot-'em-up western. It's a story of a community trying to establish order and justice in a lawless land. The residents of Tombstone face daily challenges, from dealing with outlaws to surviving in a harsh and unforgiving environment. It's a glimpse into a pivotal moment in American history, a time when the frontier was being settled and the American spirit of determination and resilience was on full display. A time when the Wild West was being tamed and legends were born. The stories of Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday, and the Clanton Gang have become part of American folklore, representing the struggle between law and order and the chaos of the frontier. This essay will explore the fascinating story behind Tombstone. We'll delve into the real history of the town and its inhabitants, separating fact from fiction and uncovering the true events that inspired the film. We'll separate fact from fiction, comparing the movie's portrayal of events and characters with historical accounts. The film takes some liberties with the truth, but it also captures the essence of the time and the people who lived through it. Get ready to meet the real Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday, and the Clanton Gang. These men were more than just gunfighters. They were complex individuals with their own motivations, fears, and dreams. Their lives were more complex and nuanced than any Hollywood script. Wyatt Earp, for example, was not just a lawman, but also a gambler and entrepreneur. Doc Holliday, a dentist by trade, was a loyal friend and a deadly adversary. Our journey takes us back to a time when life was cheap, and justice was often served at the end of a gun barrel. The gunfight at the OK Corral was just one of many violent confrontations that defined the era. We'll examine the values of the Wild West, loyalty, honor, and justice, and how these ideals were tested in the harsh reality of frontier life, and see how these themes resonate even today. The story of Tombstone is not just a historical curiosity. It offers lessons about human nature, conflict, and the quest for justice that are still relevant in our modern world. Along the way, we'll appreciate the technical brilliance of Tombstone. The film's attention to detail, from the costumes to the set design, helps to create an immersive experience that transports viewers back in time. The film's cinematography, music, and acting transport us to a bygone era. The sweeping landscapes, haunting musical score, and powerful performances all contribute to the film's enduring appeal. So saddle up and get ready to ride with us as we explore the legend of Tombstone. We'll journey through the dusty streets, visit the saloons, and stand at the site of the OK Corral, experiencing the history and drama of this iconic town. It's a story of gunsmoke, grit, and the enduring spirit of the American West. The legend of Tombstone continues to captivate and inspire, reminding us of a time when the frontier was wild and anything was possible. Few events in Wild West history are as iconic as the gunfight at the OK Corral. Tombstone brings this legendary showdown to life. But how accurate is the movie's depiction? Let's delve into the historical record and separate fact from Hollywood embellishment. The gunfight, which took place on October 26, 1881, lasted a mere 30 seconds. Yet, in the hands of skilled filmmakers, those fleeting moments are transformed into an epic confrontation. The movie portrays the gunfight as a climactic battle between good and evil, with Wyatt Earp and his brothers representing law and order against the villainous Clanton Gang. In reality, the lines were blurrier. While the Earps and the Clantons were certainly at odds, the motivations behind the gunfight were more complex than a simple good versus evil narrative. The Earps, while serving as lawmen, were also involved in questionable business dealings. The Clantons, often portrayed as ruthless outlaws, were cattle ranchers with their own grievances. Tombstone takes creative liberties with the event's location. While the gunfight is forever linked to the OK Corral, the actual shootout occurred on a vacant lot near the corral. This discrepancy highlights the film's focus on dramatic storytelling over strict historical accuracy. Tombstone brought the legendary figures of Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday back to life on the big screen. The film, released in 1993, quickly became a classic, capturing the imaginations of audiences with its dramatic retelling of the events in the infamous town of Tombstone, Arizona. Kurt Russell's steely portrayal of Earp, with his unyielding gaze and commanding presence, brought a sense of gravitas to the character. Russell's Earp is a man of few words but immense action, embodying the archetype of the stoic Western hero. And Val Kilmer's unforgettable performance as Holliday, with his sharp wit and deadly skills, added a layer of complexity to the film. Kilmer's Holliday is both charming and menacing, a man who is acutely aware of his own mortality, and yet unafraid to face it head-on. These performances cemented these characters in cinematic history, making them iconic representations of the Old West. The chemistry between Russell and Kilmer on screen was palpable, creating a dynamic duo that has been celebrated by fans and critics alike. But how closely do these portrayals resemble the real men who walked the dusty streets of Tombstone? The town itself, with its rich history and colorful past, serves as a backdrop for the legends that have grown around Earp and Holliday. Wyatt Earp, often depicted as the quintessential lawman, was a complex figure. Born in 1848, Earp's life was marked by a series of adventures and misadventures that took him across the American frontier. He was not just a lawman but also a gambler, a saloon keeper, and a prospector. He was a gambler, a saloon keeper, and a sometimes lawman with a reputation for both ruthlessness and a strong sense of justice. Earp's involvement in the famous gunfight at the OK Corral in 1881 solidified his place in Western lore, but his life was far more nuanced than the shootout alone. Tombstone captures Earp's charisma and determination, but it also hints at the darker aspects of his personality. Earp was known to bend the law when it suited him, and his methods were often controversial. His relentless pursuit of justice sometimes bordered on vengeance, blurring the lines between hero and anti-hero. Doc Holliday, the consumptive gambler and gunfighter, is portrayed with a mixture of charm and cold-bloodedness. Born in 1851, Holliday was a dentist by trade, but his life took a dramatic turn when he was diagnosed with tuberculosis. Seeking a drier climate, he moved west and became embroiled in the violent world of frontier gambling and gunfights. Val Kilmer's performance captures Holliday's intelligence, wit, and his tragic awareness of his own mortality. Kilmer's portrayal is both haunting and captivating, showing a man who is both resigned to his fate and determined to live life on his own terms. Holliday's loyalty to Earp, despite his own precarious health, adds a poignant layer to his character. While Tombstone emphasizes Holliday's loyalty to Wyatt Earp, their relationship in real life was likely more complicated. The two men shared a bond forged in the fires of conflict, but their friendship was also marked by moments of tension and disagreement. Despite this, their mutual respect and shared experiences created a lasting connection. Historical photos of Earp and Holliday reveal men who were physically different from their on-screen counterparts. Earp was tall and lean, with a stern demeanor, while Holliday, though often depicted as gaunt and frail, was described by some contemporaries as being surprisingly robust in his younger years. Earp was known for his piercing blue eyes, a detail that Tombstone omits. These eyes, often described as intense and unyielding, were a defining feature of his character, reflecting his inner strength and determination. Holliday, often depicted as gaunt and sickly, was described by some contemporaries as being surprisingly robust in his younger years. His sharp mind and quick reflexes made him a formidable opponent, both at the card table and in a gunfight. The real Doc Holliday was a man of contrasts, embodying both the elegance of a Southern gentleman and the ruthlessness of a frontier gunfighter. Tombstone is more than just a historical action film. It's a story about the code of the West, a set of unwritten rules that governed life on the frontier. These rules were not written in any book, but they were understood and respected by those who lived by them. They dictated how one should behave, how one should treat others, and what it meant to be honorable. The film captures this essence beautifully, showing us a world where a man's word was his bond, and where loyalty and honor were the cornerstones of society. These themes of loyalty, honor, and justice resonate with audiences even today, reminding us of the importance of standing up for what we believe in, even when the odds are stacked against us. In a world that often seems chaotic and unjust, these timeless values provide a sense of stability and purpose. They remind us that, no matter how difficult the circumstances, we have the power to make a difference by staying true to our principles. The film portrays a world where justice is often served outside the confines of the law. In the harsh and unforgiving environment of the Wild West, formal legal systems were often inadequate or non-existent. As a result, individuals had to take justice into their own hands. This concept of vigilante justice, while controversial, highlights the lengths to which people will go to protect their loved ones and uphold their sense of right and wrong. The Earp brothers, while representing the law, are forced to take matters into their own hands to confront the lawless element in Tombstone. Their actions raise important questions about the nature of justice and the role of law enforcement. Is it ever justified to break the law in order to uphold it? The film doesn't provide easy answers, but it encourages us to think deeply about these issues and consider the complexities of moral decision-making. This conflict between civilization and chaos is a recurring theme in Western literature and film, highlighting the challenges of maintaining order in a lawless environment. The Wild West serves as a powerful metaphor for the struggle between order and disorder, between the rule of law and the forces of anarchy. It reminds us that the quest for justice and stability is an ongoing battle, one that requires courage, determination, and a willingness to stand up against those who seek to undermine it. Loyalty is another central theme in Tombstone. In a world where danger lurks around every corner, the bonds between individuals become even more important. Loyalty is not just about standing by someone's side, it's about being willing to sacrifice for them, to put their needs above your own, and to remain steadfast even in the face of overwhelming adversity. Wyatt Earp's unwavering loyalty to his brothers and to his friend Doc Holliday is tested time and again. Their relationships are put to the ultimate test as they face life-threatening situations and moral dilemmas. Through their struggles, the film explores the true meaning of loyalty and the strength it takes to remain loyal when everything is falling apart. The film suggests that in a world as unpredictable and dangerous as the Wild West, loyalty is not just a virtue, it's a necessity for survival. In such a harsh environment, having someone you can trust with your life is invaluable. It provides a sense of security and support that is crucial for navigating the many challenges and dangers that arise. The Code of the West, with its emphasis on personal honor, courage, and self-reliance, may seem outdated in today's society. However, these values continue to hold significant meaning. They remind us of the importance of integrity, the strength to face our fears, and the ability to rely on ourselves in times of need. In a world that often feels disconnected and impersonal, these virtues offer a sense of grounding and purpose. However, these themes continue to resonate with audiences because they speak to our innate desire for fairness, justice, and the courage to stand up for what we believe in, even in the face of adversity. They remind us that, despite the passage of time and the changes in society, the fundamental principles of right and wrong remain constant. By embracing these timeless themes, we can find inspiration and strength to navigate the challenges of our own lives, just as the characters in Tombstone did in theirs.